Hello everyone, my name is Jeremiah. I also go by Jerry and Belloc with Tiny Walnut Games. I'm a vibe coder, I'm autistic, and I have ADHD. I designed the import scheduler because I got really tired of spending hours and hours importing different packages and having to do them one at a time. First thing we're going to want to do after downloading the import scheduler is to bring it into your project. It's relatively easy to do. Once you have finished downloading and importing the import scheduler into your project, you will notice that we've added a Tools menu, and you will find Import Scheduler within Tools. When you bring that up, you'll be greeted with this window, and you'll notice that it has some buttons at the top, a list of visible packages underneath that, and then an area to drop your Unity package files or directories into. First thing that I'm going to do here is show you that you can multi-select and download packages. Unity allows you to do that by default. And this package uses the default download and import directories from Unity. So if you're on Windows, it'll use the default directories there. If you're on Linux, it will use the default paths there. I've only tested on Ubuntu 25.1, so I don't have guarantees it'll work on every version of Linux. But when you've downloaded the packages you want to download and you refresh the downloads here, it will automatically, it'll show you all the packages you have downloaded that are recognized in those directories. You can choose to add selected ones to the queue, or you can choose to add all of them to the queue. I obviously would not recommend adding all of your downloaded packages to the queue, because I have something like over 1,000 asset packages from the asset store, and yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to select the Game Creator 2 packages that I own. The only one that I miss is Traversal. I don't have that one yet. I'm going to bring those in, and I'm going to leave the Show Unity Import dialog for each package turned on for the first one, just to show you that we can start off with choosing to verify each individual package if you so wish, or you could toggle that Show Unity Import dialog for each package off, and it will automate pretty much everything. Any dialog that does require your input will, of course, still require input, like, updating API call or API in the scripts and things like that automatically. And what I'm showing you here is that after adding them to the queue, you can click the Start Queue button at the top. A better position for that might be the bottom, but I'm going to leave it there for the moment. This is one of those inputs that I'm talking about. It requires dependencies, so Unity gives you the opportunity to approve that. We don't do everything for you. And then here we can approve the first one. And then I uncheck the Show Unity's Import dialog for each package after this. If I'm being honest, I actually forgot to uncheck that, and that's why I ended up showing you this in the first place. And we're keeping an eye on the queued count to see whether or not it goes down after having unchecked that toggle. I'm actually adding the voice after the fact. The first time I recorded the voiceover, my microphone was muted and I was talking for a half hour. And now that that first one is done, and we can see the queue count clock down, I'm going to go ahead and start speeding up the video now to get through the last of the fluff. Maybe not the rest of the video. Some of the video, and then we'll go back to regular speed to show off some other projects. And then get back into the 10 times speed to finish off the rest of the imports. And here we go. All in all, during this video, I import somewhere around 30-ish packages. Here I dragged in an entire directory to add to the queue. Excuse me, so sorry. And you're going to see another 23 of them clock down. Pretty soon here I'm going to bring up my developer profile page. This is my developer profile page. I whipped this up yesterday. Just a quick little thing to be able to post my links to and my projects and whatnot. One of the most important ones there is the ORCID ID. The Materials Discovery app. It is it's an AI ML workspace that connects with the Materials Database project using their API. So you have to register with an API with them, and then you use that API key in the app. That'll load up in a moment here. It takes about a minute for it to load every time because it spins up fresh. And what it does is it takes the materials from the database and it attempts to predict possible binary and tertiary alloys that might be synthesizable and whether or not they can be whether or not they can be synthesized safely. Obviously, I need some real-world lab work to be able to tune this further. I've contacted Michigan Tech University as well as I3 Detroit's Makerspace to try to get this, try to push this further. I'm actually relatively proud of it. I included functions for, like, if a lab does not have an arc melter or an induction furnace, they can disable those and they won't be considered for the prediction models. And if you're looking at the queued count over on the right hand side, we've dropped down from 23 to 15 at this point. 15 remaining things to import. I've written my own RAG AI, RAG being retrieval augmented generation. So I feed it somewhere around 165,000 documents, and then I ask it a question, and it spits out a generated document with citation. It was originally written to be my documentation assistant. And it does use CUDA cores. That falls back to CPU if it cannot find a core. It's a relatively simple model, but I'm proud of it, again, because I wrote it. I am biased, I admit it. The synthesis, if you have your own document, you can throw that in there, synthesize the document, which means it gets ingested into the system for that run, and you can query your own documents. But of course, be aware that your documents are mingled in with the ARXIV corpus. So if you ask it something about space and, I don't know, cuddly plush toys, it'll come up with something weird. But yeah, this is my rag. And then the other one that I'm relatively proud of, I released this not this Saturday, but the previous Saturday, I believe, yeah. The first week, cumulative downloads between NPM and Docker Hub was over 7,500. But obviously now, because it counts weekly downloads, that initial hype has died down. And it was completely expected. I never actually expected it to take off as well as it did. But it allows me to give my coding assistants local memory that is divided into a memory castle. That's the easiest way to explain it. And this memory castle is accessible via either an organization directory, a user directory, or a project directory, whichever one you decide to set it up as. I've been using it as an organizational directory, and so I have had cross-project memory. And each of the memories are tagged as their own individual product, so there's no corruption between. And I was able to use this to help me debug the MCP server itself. I opened up another project, started using it there, ran into a couple of issues, saved new memories while inside that project under the neurodivergent memory project name, and then was able to go back into that project, recover those memories, and continue working on it. It's been a very, very wild ride. And now that I've pretty much gone over all the links, all the extra stuff that's just actual profile links, like my TinyWonix Games Asset Store profile, my GitHub TinyWonix game profile, and my personal GitHub profile. And now we're back at the 10 speed, finishing out what was approximately 30 minutes and 3 seconds worth of video into about 15 minutes. And an import session that would have taken me at least, I want to guess, about 2 hours, ended up only taking a half hour. And that is the benefit that I am offering with the import scheduler. And again, it does work on Linux. It was tested on 25.1 Ubuntu. Works on Windows. So that's where I'm using it here now, or was during the video. And I hope that you guys have a great day. Please enjoy.